For the release of the Mercedes-AMG W12 e-Performance, we've created a short video to demonstrate a few race start methods. First off, we'll demonstrate a launch method that makes use of an analog clutch. I'll be using a hand-operated clutch in this demonstration, as that's what's used in the real car, but a foot clutch can be configured in the same manner should you choose. Before we demonstrate the launch itself, I'll talk through the procedure in full, as well as a few points to keep in mind. To begin the launch procedure, fully depress the clutch and select first gear. Next, you want to bring your throttle position to 50% and hold it there. Then once the lights go green, you should continue to hold the throttle at 50% whilst releasing the clutch to approximately 65%. At this point, the car will begin to move forwards. This next phase of the start is the most critical, as releasing the clutch too quickly will cause the RPM to drop too low and lead to a poor getaway. Conversely though, releasing the clutch too slowly at high engine RPM will lead to overheating of the clutch and clutch slip. During this phase, you should try to keep the engine RPM above 7300, which is indicated by the illumination of the third red shift light. You should aim to fully release the clutch before reaching 85 km an hour, or 53 miles per hour, and during this period, maintain a constant throttle input if possible. Only once the clutch is fully released should you begin to increase throttle position carefully to avoid wheel spin and accelerate through the gears. Now that you have an overview of the process, let's take a look at what this looks like in practice. The margins for a perfect launch are narrow, and we do highly advise that you make a few practice starts before implementing the method in a race scenario. In the event that you don't have access to an analog clutch, or that you just don't want to use one, you may opt to launch the car using only the throttle and brake pedals. To begin this launch procedure, fully depress the brake pedal and select first gear. Now you should wait until the red lights illuminate before increasing throttle position to approximately 45%. If you apply too much throttle for too long whilst holding the brake, you risk overheating the clutch as described in the prior launch method. As such, you should aim to minimize the amount of time you spend overlapping the throttle and brake during the launch procedure. Once the lights turn green, release the brake pedal and the car will begin to move. With this method, there is no clutch to manage, but you should be very careful with throttle application to avoid wheel spin, especially in first gear.